What's up, everybody? Welcome back inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. It is a football Friday in Columbus, Ohio, and you know what that means. That means we are going to run through four downs. We are going to do bold predictions, offensive player of the game predictions, defensive player of the game predictions, and a final score prediction. That's Matt Parker over there on the end. That's the 40-year vet Tim May. You all know him by now. That's Andy Backstrom. Fellas, let's get started because there's no better time than now to get started. Matt, you're going to go first still. We're not going to change up the order. It'll go Matt, then Tim, then Andy, then Spencer. Your bold prediction for Ohio State Northwestern at noon on ABC in Evanston, Illinois.
I'm on a new side now, Tim.
I know, I like that.
Yeah, I like being over here.
I can control you more.
I like being
if
over
you go
here.
to go out on that limb and predict two guys going to break 100 yards rushing in one game, that was bold, man.
Well, how about for this game?
Hey, I'll tell you this though. Ohio State ended up averaging more yards per carry in that game rushing than Penn State did, and a lot of people don't know that.
Well,
What's your bold prediction, Matt?
wow. I guess I'll just get right to it, and we won't have any fun here.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily as bold as I like to be, but this Ohio State defense is just humming and humming and humming. Last week kind of had a setback, if there is a setback for this unit that has an upward trajectory. 4 turnovers this weekend by this Ohio State defense. Interception, fumble, you picked him, but there's going to be 4 of them by this Ohio State defense.
Hey, six 2 weeks ago and 4 last week. Why am I going to argue with that?
Why not 10? Why not say 10?
It's going to be raining and windy.
Yeah?
On Ryan Field, or in Ryan Field.
Official number 5.
Dyche Stadium, whatever they call it.
I'm changing it from 4 to 5.
4,
5, okay.
Wow.
5
You know,
turnovers.
they could have had 5. They could have had 6 last week.
Yeah.
They jumped on 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Again, 6 in a row. 6 in 2 games in a row. My bold prediction is that Ohio State's going to rush as a team for at least 250 yards on Ryan Field. And I'm not going to say who's necessarily going to be the leading rusher. I think it'd be a huge bonus if Ohio State gets Mayan Williams back. But a guy I've got my eye on Saturday is Dallin Hayden, because right now you get your starters in there. You want them to feel good, especially your skill guys other than your quarterback. But you don't want Travion Henderson and Mayan Williams in too much jeopardy. So I think Dallin Hayden's going to see some time. He might be the guy that pops 100. We'll see.
On that theme, I'm saying that Ohio State has 3 plays of 50 or more yards. Northwestern's given up 11 plays this season of 50 or more yards. That's tied for last in the Big Ten. So this Northwestern team on offense, on the other hand, has 0 50-plus yard plays this year. That's one of 4 teams to not have a single play of 50 or more yards. So, yeah, I think the big play is going to come in handy for Ohio State. I think the weather might factor in there, maybe some guys slipping on defense for Northwestern. So, yeah, check the big play.
Fellas, you know what I like to do around here.
Yeah,
Tim
you like
likes
to copycat somebody.
Tim likes-
jump on.
Tim likes to scold me for doing so, but I don't care.
What, you mean you're going to take 10 minutes to give your bold prediction?
Northwestern has played in one rain
Start the
game this
timer.
year, okay?
Yeah.
It was at Penn State. They scored 7 points and had a ton of turnovers.
Wait, wasn't it kind of rainy in Dublin? I think it was. But go ahead.
They played in a monsoon game already. It was a hurricane. This game might not be as slippery and as rainy, but it's still going to be rainy. This Northwestern offense is terrible. This Ohio State defense is ramping up. Fellas, Northwestern ain't going to score.
The goose egg.
Uh-oh.
Ye old
Uh-oh.
goose egg.
We're
Remember
bringing
when
out-
I told you the jeopardy of a goose egg, because the offense doesn't necessarily have to score.
Northwestern will not score in this
AKA
game.
Iowa.
Ohio State will shut out Northwestern. That is
Okay.
my bold prediction. I'm sticking to it. Matt,
Wow.
offensive player of the game for Ohio State.
I'm going to go with kind of an easy pick, CJ Stroud. This is a guy, we talk about the weather here. This is a guy that's going to make sure everything is, all systems a go, right? This is a unit, that offensive unit that is, who knows who's playing? Is Mayan going to play? You know, how healthy is Trey? Even though, you know, Trey had a great game last week, but how healthy is he for longevity? Is Dallin Hayden going to make an impact in this game? And that's a true
gonna
freshman
name the
for
whole
Ohio
roster?
State.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm copying you, Tim.
I
So
get it, yeah.
I'm copying you. Just naming everybody. But no, it's going to be their Heisman candidate quarterback who's
You know what?
on the field doing the thing. CJ Stroud.
If it wasn't for that wind being in the 15 to 25 mile an hour range, they can't even nail that down. But this is a long range forecast as we're standing here recording this. That's what's expected. That's going to be tough sledding, or tough flying, tough flying weather.
Okay.
But here's the thing. They need CJ Stroud. I know they talk about all that matters is the win, but this guy 2 weeks ago was the Heisman Trophy front runner, but now Hendon Hooker has come on big time. Who knows what kind of game he's going to have against Georgia this week? Tennessee's quarterback, 24-year-old quarterback. Got to figure out some way for maybe C.J. Stroud to keep stride. I'm going to go and I'm going to cement his vote, and also C.J. Stroud's going to be the offensive player of the game for Ohio State.
Copier.
Well, you got to go with what you feel.
I'm going with Travion Henderson, kind of contrary to what Tim was saying with Dallin Hayden having a big day. I'm going with Travion here. He's only had 2 100-yard games this season. I think we had a third, and comfortably so. I think he'll go over 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and I think he'll be the offensive player of the game.
Nice little bonus bowl prediction along with the offensive player of the game.
How about that?
Really good prediction.
My offensive player of the game is going to be Cade Stover. If C.J. Stroud's going to be able to throw the ball, it's probably not going to be by the way of deep ball with the rain, with a little bit of wind. I think there's going to be some room for opportunity for a big guy like Cade Stover against a smaller defense like Northwestern. Cade has been playing really well all season. There are times where you want to reward guys for what they do. I know Cade was rewarded in the fourth quarter, but I still think Ohio State owes him a touchdown or two for his efforts this year, and I think Ohio State will make sure to do that. You can get CJ his stats while also, getting Cade the reward that he probably deserves for what he's done.
I think Ryan Day thinks that way.
No, I don't think so either.
He did get a touchdown last week, one of the more dazzling touchdowns, the only touchdown pass they had last week.
I think Cade is going to be the offensive player of the game.
Gotcha, man.
It's going to be good.
But it's got to be voted on. It can't just be on total catches and times you score. This guy's blocking his rear end off right now.
You making the rules?
Absolutely.
No,
absolutely.
No, I'm helping your argument.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. And I think everybody in that locker room, if Cade Stover has a nice game, would vote him offensive player of the game.
He's already a captain.
He's already been voted on once, Matt, defensive player of the game.
Jack Sawyer. We've seen JT. It's your guy. We've seen JT Tuimoloau.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me explain myself.
But I'm having to change my choice now. Go ahead.
Oh, because I took the 40-year vet to answer.
You're a thief, huh?
That's the perks of going first.
We can't rubber stamp both.
No. JT Tuimoloau.
Wow.
Tuimoloau.
Breakout game. We've seen Zach Harrison consistently gel.
Yeah.
Really good games, both him on the inside and the outside.
Last 2
It's
weeks.
true.
And it kind of just feels like this is now the opportunity in the moment for Jack Sawyer. Who are they going to pay attention to on this defensive line for Ohio State?
Okay.
We haven't really seen Jack Sawyer with his hand in the dirt a whole lot this season. He's been playing that Jack Leo position, whatever Jim Knowles wants to call it, if someone's earned the Jack name yet. But that hybrid standing up guy, I think this is Jack Sawyer's game to be the defensive MVP.
JT Tuimoloau had that one interception dropping off into coverage and stuff. He was sort of jacked up for that play. I see where you're going there. I'm going to go with Lathan Ransom because I think Ohio State is, like Andy said, Ohio State's going to have success running the ball. They're going to get some touchdowns, I think, early, running the ball and or throwing. But that means Northwestern's going to have to be throwing the ball. And after watching them try to throw the ball against Iowa last week, the video I watched of them, about 35 minutes of that game, condensed, thank God. I think they're going to be targets of opportunity for this Ohio State defensive secondary, and I'm going to go with Lathan Ransom to get maybe a couple of picks.
You willingly watched Iowa Northwestern?
Yeah, you got to do your homework.
All right.
Sticking in the secondary, but going with Denzel Burke. Talked to him on Wednesday. Looked very confident. Played north of 70 snaps the first time this season last week. Probably going to see a similar snap count this time around. And yeah, he's a physical corner, and you're going against the Northwestern wide receiver core that's just not very big. Their top 2 wide receivers are both under 6 feet. And it looks like Denzel Burke could be primed for a good game. It doesn't mean he's going to have a couple picks, but it could mean that, gives up 1, maybe 2 receptions. But that's certainly a good sign for this cornerback room that needs help.
That's a good pick. I really like the reasoning there. I can't help but think about Steel Chambers in a game like this because the Northwestern's biggest weapon is Evan Hall, the running back who catches passes out of the backfield. I don't know if that's quite Tommy Eichenberg territory, but I know that Steel Chambers has the athleticism. Not that Tommy doesn't, but I think they'll rely on Steel to do it, to cover Evan Hall out of the backfield, also to make some tackles on him on the edges when he's running the ball. Steel Chambers is going to be crucial if Ohio State's going to shut Northwestern out like I predicted. And if Steel Chambers has a good game, Northwestern cannot move the ball because Evan Hall is how they move the ball.
Okay, hey, real quick before we move on to the final, as we're picking all these defensive guys, There's something different about JT Tuimoloau at the moment. I mean, this guy has come of age. Yeah, he was going occasionally against a right tackle that was scrambling last week for Penn State, a young guy. But as we're trying to all not pick JT Tuimoloau for the player of the game coming up, I'm telling you, he's on another level right now. He could steal all of our thunder.
I hope he does.
There's going to be some matchups there he is very much going to enjoy.
He's going to probably end up going against Peter Skoronsky at some point. And that's a matchup that
not all day though.
I would pay good American currency to watch. Luckily, I get into the games for free.
Not
Matt,
all day.
How about
Jim
that?
Knowles is a great schemer.
Score prediction, Matt.
Ohio State 62. I've been wanting to give the Buckeyes a 60 burger all year, and this is the week it's happening, folks. If it's not this week, it's next week against Indiana.
Okay.
That's a show for next week.
That's a show for next week, right? Ohio State 62, Northwestern 6. They score when Ohio State puts in some backups. They get to that point, but they miss the point after.
Because of the rain and the wind?
I'm not going to ask you how Ohio
Sure.
State gets to 62 instead of 63 or
That's 2
whatever.
field goals and 8 touchdowns, Tim. My
No
math
ruggles
skills
is
are
having a
better.
time.
I know, but yeah, whatever. No, I'm with you. You said how Northwestern will get to 6. I just wanted you to delineate.
Well, I
Ohio
don't
State.
want to go drive by drive how Ohio State is just gonna,
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Ohio State. I'm getting close to you. I'm gonna go Ohio State 59, Northwestern a 9.
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going 45-10 Ohio State. I think it'll be more convincing than that, if it's even possible to be more convincing than that. I think it'll be like Northwestern scoring to get to 17 in the garbage time, But I don't think they're going to be shut out like Spencer. With that kind of conditions, you never know. Joe says Northwestern might have a guy slip here and there. Ohio State could have a DB slip here and there.
As we sit here and record this, Ohio State's what, a 39 or 38 point?
38 point.
38 point favorite. So you don't think they'll cover on Saturday?
I think covering
They'll
38.
use an umbrella, but they won't cover.
Yeah, I think this game will be well in
no.
hand. I just think that,
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sloppy.
yeah, it's going to be sloppy.
Get your number, folks. Shop around. There's some good numbers out there. I think there's still saw 36 on the board as of
I
Wednesday.
get my Powerball ticket. Go ahead.
I don't. So I've already predicted a shutout. So let's just pick the Ohio State number. I'm going to go 49-0. I don't think this game is particularly close at all. But I also don't believe that Ohio State will be able to have quite the offensive firepower, given the weather is not going to be that great as Ryan Day leaves the football facility here inside the Woody Hayes Athletic Center. So I'll go Ohio State 49, Northwestern nothing. It's very hard to predict a shutout. I don't know why I keep doing it, but that's probably the fun in all this. You guys can make fun of me next week. How's that sound? Good?
No.
Everybody good?
Shutout is very possible. I don't think any of us picked them to score more than 1 touchdown in our picks. 6. They made
Yeah.
2 field goals.
Yeah. We'll see
10.
what happens.
10. Didn't I throw 10 out there? You know what
He
I said?
threw 10 out there. You
Yeah,
said 9.
9. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I believe it was 9.
Yeah. So single digits.
Yeah, there you go. Well, anyway,
I've seen some weird things happen at that stadium, though, man. But this is not the Northwestern team that can do it. This is not the magician Northwestern team that we've seen up there a few times before. This is, for some reason, a bad team, and who won a season opener in weird, ridiculous fashion in Dublin, Ireland. And as I keep quoting you every radio show I do, I said my buddy Spencer Holbrook said they haven't won a game on American soil this year. That's crazy to think about. So it could get nasty up there in all kinds of ways.
and now the 5th down where we all predict how tall the grass will be at Ryan Field. No, I'm just completely kidding. That is Matt Parker. That is the 40-year vet Tim May. That's Andy Backstrom. I'm Spencer Holbrook. Guys, we're running 4 wide. We'll all be there at Ryan Field on Saturday for the tall grass and the Buckeyes against Northwestern.
Can I say one thing about the tall grass?
Go by all means.
Let's say if
I'd
they
be
do
offended
grow
if you didn't.
Let's say they do grow the grass taller. They may make Ohio State a little slower. Won't it make them slower too? You know
Who's
what
to
I'm saying?
say?
Yeah, exactly.
Matt, Tim, Andy, Spencer. We'll see you guys in Evanston on Saturday for Ohio State Northwestern at noon.